just need a few minutes to get my breath because setting up a camera is a lot of work. This is comfy. How many times does that have to happen? Hi guys, it's Jan, and in today's video, do I have a video for you all? Oh my god. So today I am gonna have a story time, which I don't really ever do, but today's video is to really just raise awareness of people online or people who may text you. Just don't trust everyone, because honestly, like, you just never know who the person is, and in this situation I was lucky enough that I caught on to it very fast. So nothing harmful happened to me. I didn't meet up with this person, nothing, but I don't know what his intentions were, and I don't really know how he got my number. Let's just get into it, because honestly you're probably all like, what are you on about? And yeah, so I'm just going to share this with you. And yeah, so I'm going to get into this story time. This was around 2 years ago. One day I had gotten this random message off a number that I did not know, but I knew it was an American number because it had the same first 3 digits as my carrier, and my carrier for my phone was American as well. So I knew it was an American number. And I was just kind of like, hi, who is this? And I don't know what the person's name was, but I'm just going to call him Pete for this video. So Pete was like, I'm the guy that you met like a couple of weeks ago. And so at the time I was like, who did I meet a couple of weeks ago? But I had always like met people out and about, and obviously with Houston having the best healthcare, there was always different people with cancer about, and since I had no hair it was kind of obvious that I had cancer. So I did actually meet a lot of strangers, and I talked to a lot of people who, you know, were also sick, because I was in the medical kind of community basically, because we lived so close to the medical center that there was always sick people around. So this wasn't like unusual to me, but what was that like I got a text from this number and I just hadn't remembered talking to anyone or giving my number out. So anyway, this guy was just like, hi, it's Pete, you were talking to me like a couple of weeks ago. I have cancer as well, and I really just wanted some advice. And I was just kind of confused, because I was like, who is Pete? Like, so I texted him and I was like, I don't really remember meeting you, like, who are you? You know, like, just kind of normal questions. Like, I was just, you know, wondering who he is, because I had forgotten all about it. Obviously, that's what I thought. And he was like, well, you know the Italian place you go to? And I did. I went to this Italian place like a lot. He was like, well, I met you at that Italian place, and you were just giving me advice because I was having my last round of chemo, and we talked for ages, and I just wanted to thank you for that. And I was like, oh my god, like, you're welcome, but like, I really don't remember talking to you. And I felt so bad, because when you're on chemo you have a lot of like memory loss, and I felt like I might have forgotten our conversation, and I just felt a bit rude, because I was like, I don't remember you. And he was like, no, like, we did talk, and it was a few weeks ago, and he had named the Italian restaurant, and like, I'm always at this restaurant. So I was like, oh, well, it definitely happened, but like, why would I be talking to someone in such depth like about cancer and not remember it? And like, why would I give someone my number after knowing them for just a day or just like one conversation? I couldn't wrap my head around it. So I went straight to my mom and I was like, Mom, like, do I know this person? Like, who is this guy? I got a text like from this guy saying that he had met me at the restaurant we go to, and that I was talking to him about cancer, and that I gave him a lot of advice, and he seems really sweet. So like, who is he? Like, so she straight away was kind of puzzled, and she was like, you have not met anyone, like, you've not met any guy in that restaurant. Like, we hadn't even, it kind of started to get in my mind, like, we hadn't even been in that restaurant in about 2 months, and he had said I'd seen him like 2 weeks beforehand, so it wasn't making sense. And like, and I guess my mom was putting the pieces together that like, he wasn't someone that I had met before. So we were kind of like, how does he have my number? How does he know I have cancer, and how does he know who I am? So we were freaked out. My phone keeps buzzing and it's so annoying. Anyways, so yeah, my mom had kind of put the pieces together to think that maybe he wasn't real, or maybe he was someone who just got my number. And so I was really freaked out at this point. So this is where I think I have the receipts. Yes, I have the receipt. So I was kind of just talking to him, and he was like really thanking me for everything, and I was like, you're welcome, but like, who are you? Like, I was really freaked out at this point, but he seemed so sweet that I was like, oh, he couldn't be like someone that is just like got my number and is trying to, like, I don't know, get to me. Like, he just seemed so nice. So I guess I was just a little bit clueless, and I feel like sometimes I can let people walk all over me, or I don't really see the badness in people. So I did just figure that that was the case. And so then what happened from here is really where it finished, but like scares me as well. So I was like, this is so weird, I really can't remember. I was actually feeling a bit bad for him, because my mom was like, yeah, he's like a weirdo, but like I actually thought maybe I did know him, and maybe we did have a conversation about cancer, and maybe I was just like acting like a bit because like obviously I wouldn't want to like talk to someone and then like a couple of weeks later them to message me and then me just forget them. But that's what I thought I did. Like, I really thought that this guy was genuine. And so the next thing he said, he was like, well, chemo does that. Anyway, thanks. And he meant like, thanks for like the conversation. But he said, well, chemo does that. So I was like, oh, well, he's definitely a cancer patient, because he knows that chemo like makes you forget and stuff like that. And I was like, it must, haha. And I said, no problem. I wish I remembered what I said, because he had thanked me so much about what I said and the advice I gave. So I was like, oh, he's actually really nice. Like, I must have met him somehow. And I was still like being really like vulnerable, and I guess just like misleading. And sometimes I just, again, I don't see the badness in people. So I thought that he was genuine. So he said, this was it. This is the part that really freaks me out, and I still don't know who he even is to say how he has my number. But he said, also, can you do me a favor since we're both battling cancer? And then he said, I guess we have an infinity there. And I said, what favor? And he said, send me nude pictures of yourself. I can add you on Snapchat. And I said, blocked. So I have all the screenshots up there. You guys are seeing the tea. This is when I blocked him. And even though this story time is kind of short, this is why I wanted to put up the video. Because this guy completely got in my head. My mom had explained to me that he probably wasn't real and he just got my number. But I had felt sorry for him. I really thought we had a conversation. I thought that like I knew this guy and that like he was legit. And for him to turn around and say that and disrespect me like that was unreal. I felt really gullible, because like obviously I had just like fell for everything he had just said. And then for him to turn out and ask for nude pictures, and like I just think it's so disrespectful. And I just think people need to be more careful with giving out your numbers these days, giving out personal information, because honestly I have no idea who that was, but it could have been an older man, it could have been someone who, you know, was out to hurt me. You just never really know. And it's like, I still don't understand to this day how he knew information like how I was sick, what cancer I had, what restaurants I went to. That was one of the biggest things, because the Italian restaurant was really close to where I lived at the time in Houston, so that freaked me out as well. So like there was just a lot that came down to it that really freaked me out for a good few months after that. And yeah, now I am just so much more careful with giving my information out. I thought I was careful before, but like you can see in this story I was extremely vulnerable and very gullible about the whole situation. Like I was like to my mom, no, he wouldn't be like that. Like I'd say he's a really nice person, and I talked to him before, but you just didn't notice or something like that. And obviously my mom knew that like something wasn't right, but like she was still just as shocked as I was when she read those messages as well. She obviously didn't think that it was some weirdo, or else she would have made me block him way before the last conversation. So yeah, that went on for about a day, and like of him texting me back and forth and just knowing a lot of information about me. And it just reminded me today with talking about this story to really just be careful who you share things with, because honestly this story might be kind of short and simple and nothing bad happened to me, but the things that were said and what could have actually happened in the end is just way beyond what I could even imagine right now, and I do not want to go there. Like I think in this day and age we have to be so careful on what we share on social media and what information we give out to people that we don't really know. So yeah, that's the story time. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and comment down below what you think about it, and if you've ever had a situation like this. It was crazy because I feel like not a lot of crazy stuff were happening. Like you know, I'd have chemo, I'd be in hospital, but like this was just like next level kind of stuff where people knew stuff about me and you know, asking me for nudes. Like, it's just so disrespectful. So yeah, I would like to know what your thoughts were on this story, and if you'd like me to do more, because I have so many story times. My life's very dramatic. So yeah, if you like the video, again, give it a thumbs up, press the bell, and then you can be notified for all my new videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.